Welcome to Orlando, Florida. This is Convention District News, where you'll get the inside scoop on all the excellent services offered at the Orange County Convention Center. Today's episode is all about getting around the Convention Center. And joining me today is Jan Addison, CFO, and Greg Forehand, Security Manager at the Center. Welcome to Convention District News. Welcome.
Thank you.
Now, in the past, Greg, I know that in the last year we started working on a new taxi service, and we now have a contract that I understand, I believe, is working very well, but maybe you could explain that to us and how it's working and what some of the elements of it are.
It'd be my pleasure, Gwen. In March of 2010, the Orange County Board of County Commissioners voted to change the criteria for the way we do business at the Convention Center regarding the taxi cab service. Our clients and guests have expressed an interest in changing things around. We have met that challenge and we have made the changes. Mears Transportation Company is now the management company for the taxi cab service, and they are with 4 different cab companies: Star, Diamond, Sharp, and of course Mears.
That's great, Greg. I know that our attendees really appreciate this, and I know they really wanted that for such a long time, so I'm really glad to hear that it's working out so well. Now, we also have taxi stations, correct, that we can move around the front of the building wherever our clients want them to be?
That's correct.
All right, and then they can just go out and catch a cab, whether it's at Hall A or Hall D?
We'll have proper signage in the facility to direct our clients and guests to the best location. And additionally, all of the drivers have been properly vetted. They've all undergone proper background checks, they have licenses, and they have good insurance and excellent driving records, which is very important.
Absolutely. Now, I know that we also have a flat rate in place for the Convention District area. Can you explain that a little bit? Some of our audience might not know what that means.
Gwen, the flat rate is a $10 good faith luxury or town car fee. It applies to rides to and from the Convention District or the Convention Corridor. The boundaries are Sand Lake Road, south to the beach line, west to Interstate 4, and east to Shingle Creek Resort.
And now that is strictly for luxury vehicles and not taxi cabs, correct?
This rate does not apply to taxi cabs.
Okay.
Clients and guests will pay the taxi cab meter rate.
Now, also, we've talked a little bit before about a surcharge on the taxis. What is that and what will it be used for?
Our taxi surcharge has not been implemented as of yet, but hopefully sometime the latter part of this year will go into effect. That taxi cab surcharge fee will pay for our taxi cab starter stands located at the Convention Center for every event.
Okay, all right, well that makes sense, but it's definitely not in place yet, but it will be in the future.
Yes.
Okay.
More to come.
Great, thank you so much, Greg.
You're welcome.
Now, Jan, tell me a little bit about parking at the Convention Center. We have a tremendous amount of parking spaces. Is there anything new happening in that area that you can tell us about?
Yes, there is, Gwen. I'm pleased to announce that we're actually going to have a new parking component, and we are going to be implementing short-term parking for the very first time.
Oh, great.
And we're going to be converting several of the spaces in front of the West Building to short-term parking, and hopefully in the future, should that turn out all right, then we will add spaces for the North-South Building as well.
Great. Well, tell me a little bit about that. I mean, is it an hour parking? 6-hour parking? What is
it's actually going to be truly short-term parking.
Okay.
People are not going to be able to park more than 1 to 3 hours. And because we have plenty of parking spaces for people that want to park extended periods of time. But right now, whenever somebody comes to the facility, they either have a choice. I mean, they may park for 2 hours or 12 hours in our lots, but they're still paying the same amount. So this way, they'll be able to just park 1 hour and just pay for 1 hour.
Okay. Now, how will this work? How will they pay for that? We won't have attendants out front of the building, correct?
No, we're not going to have attendants in front of the building, and we're not going to have individual parking spaces either. What we will have are parking pay stations, and these are very user-friendly devices, and all people will need to do is just put the parking number of the space of which they parked, and then also use their credit card. And then a receipt will be printed for them for their records. And if they don't want to pay using the parking pay stations, they can actually use their cell phone. So it will be very easy. And the cost is going to be $3 an hour up to 3 hours.
Okay. Now, what about persons with disabilities? I know we have parking in front of the building right now for them. Will that still be in place? Will we still be able to accommodate that?
Definitely. Currently, we have lots of parking for accessibility parking. And in the front of the West Building, we have several spaces already that are designed for persons with disabilities. What we intend to do is to keep some of those spaces available for people who have disabilities to be able to come in and park just for a short term.
Okay, well, great. Well, thank you, Jan. I really appreciate all the information. We look forward to seeing all of this sometime this summer, and that's really exciting. And Greg as well, thank you for the information on the taxi service.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Remember, the Orange County Convention Center has all the services you need to make your convention a success. If you have any questions or need additional information on the taxi service or the Convention District short-term parking, please visit the press section of the Orange County Convention Center website. Thank you for joining us on Convention District News.
If you would like more information on the program you've just seen, please contact the Sales and Marketing team toll-free at 1-800-345-9845 or email them at marketing@occc.net. Welcome to the Center of Hospitality, the Orange County Convention Center.